everyone, welcome to another week of Pilates plus Physio. Thank you very much for joining me. You need your mat, your yoga brick, your piece of stretchy band. So, starting off up in standing, feet about hip width apart. Just give the knees a bit of a wriggle. Lengthen through the hips, think of opening out through the shoulders. Gently tuck in that chin. Imagine a balloon, a nice bright festive colour maybe, coming from the back of the top of your head, taking you up towards the roof. Just slide one shoulder up and really let it drop, and slide the other one up and let that drop. Sliding one shoulder up and let it go, and the other one and let it go. Just check that you're not gripping with your legs or your buttocks, so that you're just standing nice and relaxed. Alternate shoulders, lifting and releasing, and lifting and releasing. One more on each side. Great, okay. If you can, stand on one leg. If you're a bit wobbly, hold on to something. One leg out in front, just circling your foot and ankle. Circles going one way, circles going round the other way. Good, pop that foot down, transfer the weight over, really feel the foot on the ground. Other leg off. Big circles, think of the big toe doing the circle, so it's not the whole leg, it's just your foot and ankle. And then circling the other way. Great. Both feet down. Alternate knee lifts. So just bringing one knee up in front, pop it down, bring the other one up in front and down. So as you prepare to take the foot off the floor, you're really thinking about the leg you're going to stand on, connecting that foot into the ground. See if you can keep your body straight. So think of a straight line from your chin straight down through your belly button. That's staying completely vertical. It's really grounding that foot on the floor. Okay, a little bit more balancing this time, so stand on one leg and just move things around as you want to. So you could do the arms going up towards the ceiling, you could do sort of windmill arms, you could maybe think of leaning forward, you could take the whole leg in a bit of a circle, you could bring the knee up to your chest, out to the side. You can move the arms to enable you to balance a little bit. Just random movements while you're standing on the one leg. Okay, swap legs. Remember, that's what you have to do. And if you're out walking and you put your foot on a slightly slippery surface or on uneven ground, the rest of your body needs to be able to adapt to that. You could try a little hip and knee bend and back up, arms up, anything you can think of, a twist, just turning the head. Could even go right down to the floor and back up. Good, good. Okay, lovely. Both feet down on the mat. Maybe grab your band a moment. So holding the band, hook it over your thumbs pointing to the roof, and then just turn your hands inside. So you want the band over the back of your knuckles, palms facing each other, elbows tucked right in by your tummy. So imagine a 50-pound note between each elbow and your waist. You're going to keep that there, and you're just going to press out with the hands and release. And again, you're pressing out with the hands. So it's back of the shoulders doing the work. If you've got quite a stiff band, so this blue one's quite strong, you're not going to get a massive amount of movement, but the muscles are still going to be working around the back. Just pressing out and releasing. Pressing out and releasing. Good one to do if you've got shoulder pain. So last week's class was lots and lots of sort of shoulder movements. This one is just strengthening up the calf muscles around the shoulder a little bit. Okay, keep a hold of the band like that. Bring the arms down. So, I'm just going to take both arms forward and up towards the ceiling. And come down. And then you could add in, step forward, both arms up and down. So slight outward pressure into the band. Alternate legs, come forward, arms up. So you're going to step forward, arms up. Step forward, arms up. Step forward, arms up. So think of really lengthening right up, fingertips going up towards the ceiling. Weight going on to the front foot. Couple more. Great, okay. Keep the band somewhere handy. Lie yourself down on the mat, just in a relaxation position. So you're lying on your back. Head on your little rolled up towel or small pillow if you need to. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Maybe put your hands on your tummy. Just let your back sort of melt down into the mat. And just focus on your breathing a moment. So just as you breathe in, the tummy comes up. And as you breathe out, your tummy goes down. So not an enormous breath, just a normal sized breath, but you're just directing the breath down so that you're using the diaphragm. Because remember, the diaphragm makes up the top of your sort of core, top of that sort of band of strength around the middle. So if the diaphragm's not doing what it should be doing, it's a bit like a barrel without a lid on it. So you want the diaphragm just nicely going up and down like that sort of pair of bellows. Good, okay. Bring your knees and ankles together, arms out to the sides, not too high, so make sure your arms are just a little bit lower than the shoulders. We're doing a knee roll from side to side, so knees going one way, head the opposite way. Use your tummy, pull the knees back up. Knees going one way, head the opposite way. Back of the shoulders staying down on the floor. So you can do that with your feet on the ground. If your back's painful, definitely keep your feet down. Those who want to make it a little harder, could slightly flatten your back into the mat. Float one leg up, float the other. Same thing, knees going one way, head the opposite. So especially if you've got your legs off, don't go too far. You're really keeping that opposite shoulder glued onto the ground behind you. And you're keeping the knees on that same sort of arc. So if you imagine a hoop going from one side of the floor to the other side, your knees are staying on that. They're not dropping further away from you. Keep them stuck together. Or you can keep going with your feet down on the mat. Okay, whichever one you're doing, now bring both arms up towards the roof. Line your fingers up with something on the ceiling. So above me here is what's happily called the coffin hatch. It's a little hatch they had in these old houses to get the coffin out, I think, because it wouldn't fit down the stairs, because our stairs are very windy. So line it up with something on the ceiling, a little mark, or we've got some floorboards up there. Keep your hands completely still, keep the knees still rolling from side to side. Start to feel it in your back, pop the legs down. So the top half is staying completely still, you're still rotating through the bottom half. That's good. Okay, knees back up into the middle, bring the knees up to the chest, cross your ankles, hang on to the knees, a little bit of gentle rocking, just release things. And then uncross your legs, both hands on one knee, reach out through the other leg. So good, do toes up towards you, press right out through the heel, up towards the ceiling, or a little bit more horizontally, draw that leg back in, swap the hands, swap legs. So it's a single leg stretch. So you could tuck the chin in, curl your head and shoulders up, big gap between your shoulders and your ears. Think of really reaching out through the legs, and the knee goes straight at the end. Great. Finish the one you're on, rest your head down again. Rock the knees again. This time maybe take your nose in little tiny circles going round one way. So knees rocking, nose circling. And then circle the nose the other way. Okay, pop your feet down. Arms just relaxed beside you. So, slide one leg down the mat. Toes up towards you, lift it up, keeping it straight. Bend your knee, pop it down. So you slide the leg down, toes up towards you, lift up, keeping it straight, fold it down. Other leg, slide down, toes up, bring it up, just bring it up so it's level with the other leg, fold it down. Slide down, toes up towards you, lift up, keeping it straight, fold it down. Couple more, slide down, toes up, lift it up, keeping it straight, and fold it. And again, slide down, toes up, lift it up, keeping it straight, and fold. This time, float the leg up. So your knee is coming up towards your chest. Knee is still at about a right angle. Then you straighten, then you lower, then you slide back in. So you're folding, straightening, lowering, sliding back in. Fold up. So we did this last week. Straighten, lower the leg to the floor, draw it back in. One more, fold up, straighten, lower, back in. So 4 separate movements. Keep that in your head. Take both arms to the roof, elbows out to the side. Then let your fingers drop back to the floor. Slide your fingers along the floor towards the back wall. Bring the arms up towards the ceiling. So we're putting that together with the leg. So fold the leg up, elbows back. Hands back, straighten. Slide your fingers along the floor towards the back wall as you lower the leg. Draw the leg back in, arms back up to the top. If you get into a muddle, just stick with the arms or just the legs. So fold the knee, take the elbows back. Hands back, straighten the leg. Lower the whole leg to the floor as you slide your fingers towards the back wall. Bring the arms up, slide the leg back in. Elbows back, fold the knee. Hands back as you straighten. Lower the leg to the floor as you slide the fingers back. Arms back up to the top. One more, elbows back, fold the knee. Hands back as you straighten. Lower the leg as you reach your fingers towards the back wall. Bring the arms up. Slide the leg back in. Great. Pop your hands underneath your head. Elbows back and wide. Tuck in the chin. We're just doing a little curl up. Curl your head and shoulders up. Look down over the top of the knees. And release back down. So tuck the chin in. Curl up. So you're just using your hands to cradle the back of your head. And again, little chin nod. Curl up. And release down. Little chin nod, maybe turn it, make it slightly diagonal this time. So front of your shoulder coming towards the opposite hip and down. Front of the shoulder towards the opposite hip and down. Little chin nod, up and across. And release down. Little chin nod, up and across. And release down. So oblique curl up now. Crisscross tummy muscles doing more of the work. Top half twisting, bottom half staying completely still. Elbow back on the floor, other elbow back where you can barely see it. Couple more. Great, okay, rest your head down. Just let the neck release, gently roll your head from one side to the other. Good. Okay, a little bit more on the coordination front. So, start with one arm right up by your ear, along the floor, like you've got your hand up when you're in class. Other arm down by your side. So, the arm by your side is going to go via the ceiling to your ear. The arm by your ear goes along the floor to your hip. The arm by your hip goes via the ceiling to your ear. The arm by your ear goes along the floor to your hip. So you need plenty of room. Arm by your ear goes along the floor to your hip. The arm by your hip goes via the ceiling to your ear. So it's a bit like your swimming backstroke. Arm by your hip goes via the ceiling to your ear. The arm by your ear goes along the floor to your hip. So sometimes not thinking about it too much makes it easier. Nice one for the shoulders. Just gently keeping your back in that neutral position so your back isn't moving. Okay, switch it round. So start with one arm up, one arm down. So the arm by your ear now comes via the ceiling to your hip. The arm by your hip goes along the floor up to your ear. The arm by your ear comes via the ceiling down to your hip. The arm by your hip goes along the floor to your ear. Arm by your ear goes via the ceiling to your hip. The arm by your hip is going along the floor to your ear. Arm by your ear via the ceiling to your hip. Arm by your hip goes along the floor to your ear. So it's like sort of swimming front crawl this time. Good. Okay. Bring both arms down beside you. Feet in nice and close. Press your feet into the ground. We're going to go in straight into a spine curl. Press into your feet. Curl your bottom up. Straight line, knees, hips, ribs. And then just roll back down again. And again. Pressing into the feet. Peel your back up away from the floor. Just coming up and holding. Give your bottom a prod at the top there. Should be nice and firm. Not squishy. So hamstrings are staying fairly relaxed if you can. You're thinking of your buttocks actually straightening the hips at the front. Curling up one bone at a time. Feet flat on the floor, so just watch that the toes aren't lifting up. You're pressing your feet into the ground. And just going a couple more, maybe. And just one more, last one, curl up. As you come down, really focusing on one bone at a time, just laying your back down on the mat. That's great. Okay. And then turn over onto your side. So underneath arm right up above your head if it goes. Legs out straight, make sure you can see your feet, look back to the front. Top hand just nice and light, big gap between your shoulder and your ear. Let's start with a side leg lift, so point the toes, top leg up, foot up, press out through the heel. Point the toes, top leg up, press out through the heel. So think of that piece of chalk coming out of your big toe. You're drawing a line on the wall as you go up. You're rubbing it out with your heel as you come down. Nice easy breathing, still trying to get the breath sort of down into the tummy. Okay, change it slightly. So bring the leg up, not too high. Bring it forward, touch it down in front. Take it up, along, touch it down behind you. So imagine you've got a sort of cardboard box down by your feet. You're going up the edge of the box, along the top, down the front. You're going up, along the top, and down at the back. And coming up, along, and down. And one more. You're going up, along the top, and down. And back so that that leg's on top of the other one. Great. Okay, turn over onto the other side. So same again. Underneath arm right up above your head if you can. Legs straight, make sure you can see your feet. You've got your hips stacked right on top of each other, so just watch that you're not slightly rolling back. Top hand really light, start with just the lifting and lowering. Imagine that leg's really light, it's just floating up towards the ceiling. Toes pointing on the way up, foot flexing on the way down. Okay, great. And then think of that little box. So bring the leg up, take it along the top of the box, down the front of the box. You're going to go up, along the top, down the back. Coming up, along the top and down, up, along and down. Great, okay. Finish the one you're doing, come back onto your back a moment, maybe grab your yoga brick, let's just give things a bit of a stretch. So, lying, knees bent, feet flat, press into your feet to curl your bottom up, slide the block underneath your bottom, legs down one at a time, really let your feet flop, fingers linked, palms to the roof, arms back over the top of your head. Aiming to stay there for about a minute. Remember, come off before if you're not happy. And again, just gentle breathing down into the tummy. See if you can maybe make the out breath longer than the in breath. So maybe breathe in for 3, breathe out for 4. Good. All right, bring the arms all the way down. Slide in the legs one at a time. Really press your feet into the ground. Ease your bottom off the brick. Bring out, bottom down. Gather up the legs. Ankles crossed, hold the knees, gentle rocking. So you're just rocking, you're not really thinking of pulling your knees up to your chest or anything. You just want a nice, gentle, rhythmic rock. Think of pushing a pushchair back and forwards, or pushing a swing. You're just trying to get that nice rhythm that the body likes. Good. Pop your hands underneath your head, uncross your legs, press your lower back into the mat. Keep your heel close to your bottom and touch one heel down to the floor. As that one comes up, the other one goes down. So we're doing the legs passing, one heel down, and then the other one. Tummy winched in, lower back just gently sort of pressing into the mat so that the weight of your legs going down doesn't pull your back into more of an arch. Don't worry if you get a bit of a clunk at the front of the hip. It's usually just the ligament sliding over a little bony lump. Great, okay. Legs up, cross the ankles the other way if you can remember which way you went the first time. This time take the knees in a little bit of a circle. And then going around the other way. Lovely. Okay, either turn onto your side, come up sitting or hold behind the thigh. Tuck the chin in, gently roll up. Sit right up tall, ankles crossed in front. Maybe bring the feet in nice and close. Lift up from the hips. And just turn your head right round one way as far as you can. And come back. And all the way around the other way. And back. Right round the first way. And back. All the way around the other way. And back. Gently slide the shoulders up. And let them drop. And again, sliding up. And let them release. There we are. Thanks so much for joining me. If you've got any ideas or exercises that you particularly want, just drop me an email. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.